What's going on, everybody? Here we are. We get to witness that moment when I realize I have no idea what I'm doing when playing a rogue and dealing with Xebenkeck. Either I've totally just forgotten, or else I'm just garbage at this. But actually, this first little trial here, it's commonly referred to as the Gauntlet. Not so bad. In fact, I remember having some problems with this with my warrior, but with my rogue, not so much. Actually went pretty smooth. I think we got one knockout, but it was probably avoidable. And anyway, not so bad. But the trial after this, which I'll go ahead and include it, as embarrassing as it might be, I was just awful. I wound up just having to kite the enemies and just get through any way I could because I was just getting destroyed. And I don't know if this is the party makeup. This is kind of my go-to squad here. I don't recall ever really having problems with this squad. It seems to be the most effective, but it's not like Aveline wasn't doing her job either, but it seems like one would go down, then everyone would go down, and our defenses are up. You know, we've got our stuff. I've got, you know, a few, you know, fire-resistant runes and spirit-resistant runes in place, and everybody has whatever gear they would normally have right now, I think. Maybe we're doing this a little earlier than normal, but I don't think so. I think this is about the same time I normally do this in the game. You know, a little bit towards the, you know, middle or end of Act 2. Get in here, and you know, it's usually tough. It's a nice challenge because they send such a large number of demons, especially lieutenant grade demons at you, that you know, if you don't take the enemies out in the right order, you know, you can just get party wiped almost instantly. I mean, I get it, but anyway, no excuses. Just did it really bad, and I did bang my head against the wall, trying a few times over. And it just kept getting worse and worse, and finally I said, you know, I think I'm just going to have to kite these guys and just do it like that. With my warrior, I remember not having near this much problem, so be that as it may, it is what it is. Although it's perhaps maybe just an overall change of weapons completely might be in order here. For all I know, some of the stats that this weapon says it's giving you being a DLC item may not even be applying or something. Or maybe subtracting things it's supposed to be adding. It could be a bug or something. You know, I don't want to blame it on that. I can admit, you know, when it's just my fault. But still, it's like I say, having problems I don't recall having before. But it is what it is. Maybe one of you guys should spot something that I'm getting wrong here, at least as far as the party build goes, or what have you. And so I know what's going wrong here is this golem is busting me in my face with those boulders. Trying to get this Revenant out of here because he's buffing everybody. Goodbye, Mr. Golem. These axes, I think I mentioned this in the last video, I don't know, but the main hand axe, as cool as these things look, it's a spirit-based weapon, meaning that if you know, like these shades and various other enemies that are completely immune to spirit damage, essentially, the axe does no damage, so it's cutting my damage output in half, basically. And anything that could and might trigger from that axe doesn't on those particular enemies. So I'm thinking just going and finding some base physical damage weapons, even if it's just some, you know, randomly generated daggers and, you know, some shop inventory or something like that. Go deal with the Dalish elf merchant. At some point, maybe get some daggers from him. Probably what I'm going to wind up doing. Anyway, it's a series of rooms here, and each one gets, I guess you could say, progressively harder. Different combinations. You know, the Revenant and the Golem seem to be kind of a constant, and I think in this one, along with these archers, who it's a good idea to take them out. Downside to that is you take out a certain number of archers, and I believe that causes a couple rage demons to spawn or something. Anyway, these things tend to go in some sort of pattern, which killing certain enemies causes new ones to spawn, and if you haven't gotten rid of most of the mob already, then they'll still be around, and then they'll spawn a new mob on top of you, and it's really easy to get overwhelmed. Like I say, I like to get the archers out because they're damage dealers, and there we go. Then we get the rage demon. Now, I think in the Gauntlet itself, at the end of this, in the main room, I think you get 3 Rage Demons and an Arcane Horror, a Desire Demon boss, a Revenant, and a bunch of random shades, and a few Abominations, I believe. And if that sounds ridiculous, it really kind of is. It really is. Rage Demons, I think, are really their main damage dealers, because they pop up from underground and do this AoE fire thing, I guess. And even with fire resistance, they're doing a ridiculous amount of damage. I'm even questioning whether my fire resistance is actually even working. It's not so bad here, but wait till we get to Xebenkeck, then you'll see, and it's like, holy crap. Like I said, you know, I'm just going to include the part where I drug them down the hallway and just kited them out a few at a time, because I was getting mobbed in the room. And as a warrior running around with a two-handed weapon, I could sometimes take out several enemies at a time. And, you know, if you've got your damage up and you've got all, you know, the right abilities in place, it's doable. Being a rogue and being more single target at a time, I was struggling with it. I was getting caught on the second wave of Rage Demons. You know, first it spawns seems like it starts with 2, and then it spawns 3 more on the second wave, along with Abomination Shades, a Revenant, what have you. Anyway, like I say, we'll see when we get there. But then I wasn't able to get the Rage Demons out fast enough before they wiped the party. I couldn't find a way around it. I did actually try for a while to try to give you guys a good run on that, and I just couldn't do it. Just gotta admit it, I just could not do it. But hey, I do stop and take a break, you know, to take care of the important things like romancing Merrill real quick. We do get that, you know, so hey, it's not a complete loss, right? But here we go, and kind of keep track of what happens when I kill who, because, all right, we get our Desire Demon here. I'm not sure if it's killing this Rage Demon, which I believe is the trigger, or if it's that Desire Demon, but once one or the other of these guys, I guess it's this Rage Demon, because the Desire Demon's gone. So anyway, you'll see. Notice I'm trying to get these abominations out of the way first, because they're the melee dealers, right? Shades aren't so bad because we have some spirit resistance, but the abominations being more, I think, physical damage is what they deal. And then this stupid Rage Demon running around bothering us. He's by himself on this one. But see, he almost one-shot Anders there. Trying to keep him off, and then we get more. Alright, we get to... In the Xebenkeck run, I believe there's a total of 5. So if 1 or 2 seems bad here, imagine 5 of these guys. And the second wave of 3 spawns as soon as you kill one of the first 2, so you kind of want to kill the first 2 at the same time. You know, knock one down, knock the other one down. But the problem is Xebenkeck is over there healing them the entire time. She's doing like that lieutenant party heal thing, where their health goes up almost as fast as you're taking it down. And I'm struggling with this Rage Demon. He should have been dead already. And the Arcane Horror comes up. And he can wipe the party, and he already took out Anders. Yeah. Okay, I should have seen him come up and immediately gone and assassinated him. He doesn't have a lot of health. He's not quite as bulky. See, yeah, I can one-shot him with Assassinate. That was pretty sexy, wasn't it? But he doesn't have quite as much health as your average Arcane Horror, but I think because they threw him in here with so many mobs, that, you know, they didn't beef him up quite as much. I'm glad they don't throw one on the Xebenkeck one either. There's a couple on the way to her, but there's none when you actually get there. It's just, it's freaking Rage Demons, honestly. That's what really gets you. I notice Merrill is, tanking it up a bit. Also notice I still have my elemental weapons. But I don't see her casting a lot of spells, so what I believe is her Blood of the First isn't active right now. And she must have gotten hurt and had to heal herself and was not able to reactivate Blood of the First. So I apparently haven't fixed that tactic still. And I honestly, I was going to include that. I was really going to work at it and get it right. I can't figure it out. There may not be a solution. Kind of like when using Revive. You couldn't set Revive in Party Tactics and Origins. I thought I had that one figured out too. And, it was just luck. She just cast it at the right time once accidentally, but the rest of the time she would use it on nothing. And then when someone actually was knocked down, it was always on cooldown. And that thing had like a 3-minute cooldown or something. It was ridiculous. So I think maybe this is that same type of thing, that there really is no right way to manage all of Merrill's sustained abilities. Basically, just don't have her. don't have her turn anything off to heal. Just hope she doesn't get hurt. Just keep the heat off of her. Basically, I guess that's... Oh. Can't think of any other way to do it. It is funny how she is one of the last ones left alive a lot of the times, though. I'm not going to say she's quite as tanky as Anders, but she's, you know, doing her thing. See, she's got everything going now. In fact, I'm sitting here watching. Oh, she's stuck in a lyrium potion. Oh my gosh, she's stuck in a lyrium potion loop. Ooh, I see it. I need to take that off. Okay, now she's getting destroyed. Let's see what happens when her health goes down. I'm literally sitting here watching her bar. Okay. So she just drank her health potion. I saw her mana open back up. There it goes. And lyrium potion. Ah, I see. Her lyrium potion doesn't fully restore her. Okay. If you're familiar with the tactics that I was trying to set up. Oh, well, she activated her Blood of the First there. She got it off.
It's too much. You are not enough.
She doesn't have enough tactics for me to tell her to not cast any spell until her mana is at a certain point, 90% or greater, and then to make sure that she casts all of her sustained abilities first, because then she starts drawing off her health for her active spells, like lightning and stuff like that. Oh, man, okay. Man, I've got an idea. All right, so she gets stuck in a lyrium potion loop. I see that. Something is causing her to register as having less than a certain amount of stamina. Okay, so her lyrium potion works off her total stamina bar, and considering she's got about 90% of her stamina, I mean her mana, reserved for sustains.
But let's see what it's selling.
That golem sounded a lot like the voice over the intercom in Mass Effect 2 when you're on that, oh, what was that one pisshole city? Where the Asari, crime lord and her club were. If any of you played Mass Effect 2, you know what I'm talking about. It's that kind of underground place where you go to recruit Garrus in Mass Effect 2. There's a guy talking over the intercom. He's like preaching, I don't know, propaganda, anti-human propaganda. But that was the same voice. I think it was. That golem just had right there. That's kind of cool. It sounded identical to me. Anyway, so, okay, watching it right there. Man, maybe actually solve that. Maybe so. If nothing else, getting that lyrium potion thing out of the loop, we'll have one less thing that the computer's trying to do, because she can't do it. The reason I had the lyrium potion in there is I know she doesn't draw her active spells like lightning and what have you, Stone Fist and Petrify and all that. She doesn't draw that off mana, but if she has to deactivate all of her sustains so that she can heal, because she can't heal with a health potion as long as she has Blood of the First active. It's like a penalty, all right? So she has to deactivate that so she can heal. And I'm trying to get her to where as soon as she heals, she can reactivate it. But the problem is, as when she deactivates her sustains, it doesn't immediately refill her mana pool. Her mana has to regenerate gradually as she deactivates all of her sustained abilities. Then she can go ahead and do that. And if at any point, considering between Blood of the First, elemental weapons, rock armor, and whatever else she's got active, that takes up such a high percentage of her mana that if she casts any spell before she actually reactivates her sustained abilities, then it doesn't allow her to reactivate them. But I'm seeing that she actually did there. She actually reactivated Blood of the First on her own. So, if there's a way for her not to cast any spells unless Blood of the First is active, maybe there's a way to... But I don't think she's got enough tactic slots, because I think I would literally have to put 2 commands for every single spell. Only if mana is above such and such, or only if Blood of the First is active, then can you cast, like, lightning storm and stuff like that. But as long as it's active and her health pool is stable, oh my god, she can just spam that stuff. I mean, her health pool is almost her mana pool is almost endless as far as that goes. She becomes a battery for spells, but she has to have it. Okay, I'm just thinking out loud here, but there's got to be a way to do it. Like I say, first things first. As soon as I get back in here, in the next video, I'm going to take that whole mana potion thing out of her repertoire and put something else in there. Also, if mana goes off her total pool, in other words, if she's using 90% of her mana reserved, and of the 10% left, that doesn't count as 100% of her mana, it literally only counts as 10%, then if I tell her to only use spells if she has a certain percentage of mana, she'll just never use them. If it goes by the same standards or directions as the actual mana potion tactic does. I'm going to get into that and tweak that a little bit. I think there still may be an answer. Just because I can't find it doesn't mean it's not there. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking with the whole win thing until I finally went online and I was, after banging my head up against that wall in 10 different ways, I was finally like, it's got to be something, and found out that everyone had that problem. Nobody had figured it out. And after a few years, if nobody else had, I seriously doubt I was going to find it either. Never did find a solution for that. There was something you had to actually go manually activate from Win's menu, and this may be that case, maybe. But I just saw her reactivate it after healing herself, so I see it's possible. Like, see, right now, she's doing her thing. If you look at the spells she's casting, she's Wounds of the Past and all that other stuff. And her mana is staying steady down there at about the 10% mark, and that's what it's supposed to be, because everything else is reserved, like elemental weapons, rock armor, all that good stuff. If I seem obsessed about Merrill, it's a big part of my party. Later on, she's going to be an even bigger part of the party. We're kind of running out of mages that we can turn to, to bring along with us. So. I definitely got to get these traps. Look at how much they're worth. Well, that wouldn't show up, but I believe they're like $2 or $2.50. I think there's probably another one down here too. They're worth almost as much as killing a mob of these enemies are, just by themselves. That'll work. There's probably one more trap right here, somewhere. There it is. What are they worth? $2.50? Yeah, see it. 3 or 4 of those, that's 1,000 right there. Hell, all these mobs put together is probably only 1,000, so. I'm gonna try to assassinate this dude. Almost. Got him with that one, though. Honestly, had I been behind him, I probably would have been able to one-shot him. Need to keep that in mind. That's how I play my Rogue and Inquisition. I don't see why I would do anything different here. Considering you get... That's a little bit smaller bonus. I think it's 20% instead of 25% from flanking. But if you have the passive in your... what is it? Scoundrel tree, I think. And here it is. This is my nemesis, at least as a rogue. With the warrior, like I say, it's not so bad. You've got this room right here, and they just spawn in all 4 corners. Basically, if you can keep a lot of them off your mages, you'd probably be alright. As long as your tank is being tanky. I need to restructure some of Aveline's stuff too, because she's staying tired. And I think I've got her keeping Turn the Blade and some other stuff active that's kind of overshadowed by some other skills that she has. That tree is good for raising her elemental resistance. It's good for the passives, if I remember right. And so relying on it for defense is just a big stamina waste. I think there's other things that I could go with on her. If nothing else, Elemental Aegis is just to have that active, because we're going to run into magic type stuff here and there. It's good for her to have that. Turn the blade. I think that just raised her defense a little bit. And with her whole immovable ability is her ability to just take a hit. She's not going to have the agility to avoid a bunch of hits anyway, really. So stacking her defense, other than her being able to avoid the occasional hit, she's got some stuff that allows her to basically avoid 100% of all normal damage anyway, and stuff like that. So, really, her ability to just stack her damage resistance. That's
Thank goodness you're here.
I need to
thought
lean
you
on
went
that.
to the Hanged Man. And I always went there to look for you first, but then I thought you might have gone to see your uncle instead. And I'm rambling, aren't I?
Why were you looking for me, Merrill?
After you left, I couldn't stop thinking about Paul and the mirror and everything that's happened. I wonder if I've made a mistake leaving the Dalish.
You're just feeling homesick. Don't second-guess yourself.
I suppose if I hadn't left my people, I never would have met you. I'm not like you, and I wish that I were. You're beautiful and clever, and you never make any mistakes, and I don't deserve you.
I'm not as perfect as you think, Merrill. I'm not some sort of goddess.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Some people worship you from afar, you know. It's foolish of me to even dream that you might.
I thought I was pretty obvious already, but I could spell it out for you. Merrill? It's all right.
I think she reminds me of a little bit of Scout Harding, or vice versa. Scout Harding reminds me a little bit of her. The whole, never think she gets noticed type thing. Kind of cute, actually.
What happens now? Are we... What did this mean?
Now we both decide what happens next.
If you hadn't come to Sundermount that day, I can't imagine where I'd be now. I love you. I probably shouldn't have said that, should I? I always say the stupidest things.
I was thinking of scandalizing the neighbors by having my Dalish lover move in. What do you think?
Here, in Hightown, the rich, fancy part of the city with no rats in it. And you, with an elf. Marvenon, you really are crazy, aren't you? If you're not afraid, then neither am I.
Normally I romance Isabella, but on this one I chose Merrill. Seeing Merrill in a different light here, thinking maybe she knows some things we don't. Maybe she's kind of got it right where we don't. She kind of points that out with Anders. Not that Anders is ever right, but or very, very seldom. And even when he is, it's probably with the wrong motives anyway. But she kind of points that out with him, like, wow, I've understood these things. It's a shame you don't, that you don't get it. And with your lack of understanding, then you want to judge me when you're guilty of the very same things you're accusing me of, that type of thing, Where actually she understands a bit more. She may be socially inept. She may be, publicly shy and a little confused, a little scatterbrained when it comes to dealing with things publicly. But I think as far as magic's concerned, as far as history and lore and stuff like that, what she at least believes that she believes, she's pretty adamant and founded on that. She has a solid side where she might be a little flighty, openly, publicly. Deep down inside, she's founded, and I think she's more well-grounded than a lot of us are, And that in and of itself is maybe just a little bit intimidating. But yeah, I learned to respect her in a lot of ways. It's kind of a shame, surprised, and it's kind of shameful that Anders doesn't have a friggin' rune slot yet. I thought we would have gotten one for his armor in the whole descent thing. Seems like I remember him getting one, but I guess not. Would be nice to give him a little resistance right here, at least fire resistance, so those rage demons aren't friggin' one-shotting him. But, yeah, there you have it. And, you know, this may be a case where maybe, you know, in hindsight now, right? But maybe I should have brought Varric along to take the heat off of Anders and put it on Aveline. Because she can take it, especially with, as long as Anders is on his feet, he can keep Aveline on her feet, type of thing. And as long as she can draw the hate, and when she can't, that's, you know, Varric can kind of give a little push there, you know? Assuming Varric doesn't draw the hate on himself, but he's got things to shed the hate on himself and any mage that's around him. Oh man, maybe playing a rogue, it's good to have a 2-rogue system here going, because Varric can do a lot of things that I don't do. You know, the whole chameleon thing, the whole goad, the whole, what do they call it? You know, where he, forget the name of the skill, but where he can essentially, relieve all the haste, or all the hate that's on himself and any mage that's like within 10 meters of him or something. Basically, if you keep him going back to back and sticking with Anders, staying by his side, assuming Anders is semi-close to Merrill at the time too, as long as he does that, you know, he sheds the hate off him, which immediately transfers it either to me or Aveline. Well, I can go into stealth, and, you know, I can dodge and move around a little bit, and Aveline, you know, as long as she's the center of attention, Anders can keep her healed, and so, I mean, that's kind of ideal, but, yeah, I'm thinking maybe this whole party setup right here, it worked with my warrior. But with my warrior, I always had Varric along as my rogue, you know, and he could always either transfer the hate to me myself, you know, and I could just zip around and either take out mobs with one hit or dodge and zip around and avoid them type of thing, you know. Or else have Aveline also and just run with one mage and have Anders heal the party. And essentially myself and Varric being the key damage dealers. Didn't put out quite as much damage as having Merrill around because she is a damage battery. You know, that's one reason I like to keep her with me. But yeah, I'm seeing Varric just, he's just got your back in so many different ways. He's almost as necessary in some ways as Aveline is. I do seriously plan on bringing him along when we go do the DLC. I'm going to bring Varric, Aveline, and I think you can bring Bethany. Somebody was telling me that. Notice Merrill's garments have changed. Because once you romance them, then their dress changes. So that'd be her version of her new Dalish keeper gear or whatever. Alright, here we go. And, yeah, I'm sorry about this, guys. With my warrior, I just stay in here and just run around, zip around, and do my thing, and, you know, try to keep the hate off the mages and stuff, but, in this case, I was just banging my head against... I just wasn't getting anywhere with it. The closest I got was I got down to the Revenant with, just a few abominations and one rage demon left, and by then the party was basically wiped, and I was kiting down the hall anyway by myself, because I wasn't going to be able to take out the Revenant and the rest of the shades and abominations and whatever, and a rage demon. I just wasn't, so it was like, okay. Yeah, this is just a little bit embarrassing. I just wasn't working. We can handle him 2s, 3s, and 4s. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's go see if we can kite a few more. I'll just try to leave the rest of my party back here. By destroying all the previous evil tomes and reading this last one, we got a couple free attribute points. I don't think we got a skill point. I think we just got a couple free attribute points. But, hey, they're free, right? Alright. It's not going to really do me any good dragging the entire mob down here either. Might as well just go into that room. Notice Aveline keeps saying I'm out of breath. She has just too many sustains active. Or not quite enough stamina, one or the other, or both.
I'm tiring.
I'm used to Merrill saying that.
It's too far.
I've got, some of this may just be my, party errors. There's some problem in my build, too. So I'm used to playing like this and things going smoothly. And seeing, this right here, this is one of those times where Dragon Age 2 tests your build. And it says, okay, can you hang, you know? And the answer in this one was kind of no, I can't. And there's a problem here and I need to figure it out. Alright, so she won't be buffing anybody anymore. Okay, go ahead and get everybody back here again. Like I say, kind of the weak way of doing this. I'm not a big fan of kiting like that. I feel one should be able to go in and get after it and kill everything quickly enough to where you don't get overwhelmed, but that hasn't been the case. Embarrassingly enough. Alright, yeah, there's the rest of the rage demons. And once again, there you go. I don't know if we'll bring them all down here. Yeah, here comes everybody. Yeah, so assuming Xebenkeck, that desire demon, is still alive, you get 3 more rage demons, quite a few abominations, and a revenant, buffing everybody. So they're essentially keeping everyone healed. So you have to kill everything twice in that last round, assuming you leave, you know, the revenant and Xebenkeck still alive. And it's brutal. And everyone chases down here anyway. Well, if I don't get through it here, I guess we'll just have to start over, right? This is the problem I was facing in the room right here. I almost got the buffer out. Come on, die, dude. Nice. Nobody's going to be healing the rage demons now. But they're all lieutenant grade. Notice their health bars? They don't take a lot of damage. And we're not running ice, we're running lightning, which they're not immune to it. I mean, they don't really have resistances, but they're not weak to it either. I think it just does normal damage to them. Which in most cases would be alright, but it's kind of nasty. And we lost Anders again, man. Well, see, I'm not going to kill all 3 rage demons before they can kill Anders, and this is the exact problem I was running into in the room. And nobody's there to take the heat off of Anders. Merrill's kiting like a friggin' champ. Look at her doing her damn thing. She's an absolute beast. I've even got Aveline set up to basically attack anyone, but I mean, she can only taunt so much. I don't think she's taunting enough with all those sustains going either. Maybe that's the problem. Ah, yeah, she's stuck in a stamina draft loop. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. Well, this is how you learn. Or relearn things that you've forgotten. See where mistakes are being made. I think we're fixing to lose Aveline, too. I don't think she has anything left to heal with. She's probably sucked down all the health potions. Finally got one of those guys down. Yeah, she's gone. I think me and Merrill got this. Like I say, if this is as close as I could get to kiting them, then you can see the problems I was having in that room. Although I remember being able to get these guys down a little faster. Of course, we had everybody around at one time. Alright, so get Merrill's out of that friggin' mana potion loop and get Aveline out of that stamina draft loop. To where she can at least do her basic things I have her doing. She can use her taunt, and she can use her, oh, what's the other thing? I think I have her using one basic offensive ability also, so that she can set up for combos. That means she's really not setting up for combos either. Wow. I should have gone and tweaked tactics before trying this. We might actually succeed. Oh well, doesn't matter. What's done is done. At least we got through it. And look at all the loot. Look at all this good stuff. This is almost like finishing off the deep roads, right? Big old piles of treasure. All right, and that's that. And those are, in my opinion, basically the two hardest things in the game. The Gauntlet and Xebenkeck, whatever. There's another high demon that you can face later. I don't remember exactly how to unlock him. I'll try to get around to it. But I don't remember him being as bad. I think he summons a few minions too, type of thing. But he does this big AoE thing. He's like a big pride demon on crack and steroids. He's kind of annoying, but also change of weapons might be ideal. I'll go put up my axes though, and remember that it was fun using them for a while because they looked cool. But twin Dalish daggers look really cool too. You know, they do. They do have. They do make their fashion statement. So. All right. Actually, that Freedom's Promise staff. By the name, it's probably quote unquote supposed to go to Anders, but actually, it's a pretty good one for Merrill, considering she has her elemental weapons, and especially if you've got something that's weak to fire. Oh man, seems pretty tasty, but it gives you a little extra damage of all kinds. All right, so we have well, I can't finish that one, can we? I guess we could go deliver this. I can't really remember what it is or where I got it, but I'm sure we'll get some experience and some gold for it. So that's all good, right? May even stop by Gamlen's house and see what he's up to. I think at some point, it's probably Act 3, but it seems like you stop in there and you bring Gamlen some closure with some other parts of his family or something. Seems like it's actually a pretty cool little side story. If you notice, in Act 2, a lot of your companion stuff, it's all about questioning beliefs, is they kind of second-guess themselves. Notice Merrill second-guessing herself, whether she should have left the Dalish. Aveline second-guessing herself, whether, you know, she should really be following you. Even though you do more good than bad, she wants to, you know, she wants to make sure she's morally right, which is good. You should question that, whether you're taking the right moral side that you can live with. I mean, that's for each person to do for themselves, right? So I'm like totally down with that, totally respect it. Even if Aveline is a little stubborn and brute about it, still, I can respect that. That's cool. Funny is Anders has an opportunity to second guess himself, and he even says, maybe I should go talk to the Grand Cleric. Okay, well, his version of talking doesn't include a whole lot of conversation. It's well, once again, big double standard. But he has his opportunity at least. But he's the only one really incapable of second guessing himself, because he won't admit that his entire logic and his whole cause is faulty. That he is the cause of everything he's crying about. You know, you just blame the Templars because they're a faceplate. There's something that you can just see and blame of substance. Rather, you know, it's a whole lot easier than admit that you're wrong. A whole lot easier. And that your rebel mages, they're a bunch of blood mages, murderers, you know? It's a lot harder to accept that, and I don't think you can come to grips with that. Yeah, there's a lot of second guessing and stuff like that. Even Varric, whether he, you know, maybe should have killed his brother or not, he knew it was the right thing. Although that was a hard one to swallow too, because, you know, I mean, he would like to think he could save his brother, but wow, that kind of actually sucked. But he gets over it, man. He's a stout dude. Get it, stout dwarf? All right. With that, I'm going to leave you, and if you want to subscribe, click that button up top. If you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image there in the middle, and I'll go tweaking a little bit, and pretty soon we'll get into character builds. All right, y'all take care. Thanks for watching. All right, catch you later. Bye-bye.